Hello everybody, my name is Meg. Welcome to my channel. Okay, this is a little bit awkward, but I'm gonna film it like this anyway. Okay, so I am currently in Brooklyn, New York. We took a train in, I'm just gonna pick this up right now. We took a train into the city yesterday, and we are staying with one of my dear friends, Tova. So we're heading back to the trail tomorrow morning. We're gonna get I think the 9:45 train out of Grand Central Station and get back on the trail. We should be out there probably by noon and get in, I'd say, at least 15 miles. So what I want to show y'all right now is what is in my food bag. So I'm gonna just set you back down here. I get asked a lot of questions, you know, about what we eat on the trail. So this is, it looks a little big right now, but this is a 4-day resupply that I have. So first I'll show y'all the bowl that I use. Usually this is just for like coffee in the morning. John and I share most of our dinners, and we just eat right out of the we just eat right out of our stove, essentially. So I am going to be switching this out soon. This is the GSI bowl. It came with our original cook stove, but we did downsize to a slightly smaller pot, and these used to fit inside of our bowl, and now they don't anymore. So I'm going to be switching to a probably a collapsible cup here soon. I really like the feature that has a lid on it, because what I use this most for is my coffee or my tea in the morning time. So I like to have it sit there and kind of just sip, but I don't know. I've been searching for another one that is collapsible with a lid. If anybody has any suggestions on that, please let me know, because this thing is just bulky. I try to keep stuff in it, like I'll show you one thing that I've got is little grape tomatoes, and we were fortunate enough to do our entire resupply today at a Whole Foods, and I think this is like the first day that you know, they just got bought out by Amazon, so everything was like, all the prices are significantly cheaper now. So for our entire 4-day resupply for both John and I, we spent $68, which honestly isn't that bad. Sometimes we spend more than that in a town on the trail, just because, well, you know, it's a little bit different too when you're on the trail and you got the hiker hunger in you. You kind of just buy anything that looks good. It was nice. We went out for Thai. We had Thai for dinner, and then we went shopping. So we were a little bit more focused, which is nice. But I always try to keep some kind of fresh vegetable on me, be it grape tomatoes. I like to carry either snow peas or snap peas, and green beans are a good one too. So, and I will just munch on these. I'll eat them with pop in a couple for breakfast, and then usually with lunch, and then at dinner. So there aren't too many here for 4 days, but the thing that I found with the grape tomatoes is that they, unless I have them protected in something, they you know, like get splooshy. I don't know if that's a word, but it is now, splooshy. So I don't know, I definitely prefer the and they're a little bit heavier than like the green beans or snow peas or snap peas, or I always forget the difference. But and then, so I'm just gonna basically take things out of here and show you. I have a food bag video from, oh my gosh, sometime last year. It was before we started hiking the trail. John and I went out and we did a food run. This was when we still were under the impression that we were going to be hiking northbound. But I have another video if you want to compare. But in that video, I laid everything out and I kind of showed a 4-day resupply. But this, I'm just going to show you what I have and why I have it. So, peanut butter. Boop. I love these little smaller containers. We actually, John and I are trying both to the plan that we put together was for both of us to get the smaller jar and then just buy one jar and split it, because we never eat, you know, we usually only carry between 2 and 4 days of food. 4 is actually a lot And there's a lot of delis through New York. So we're kind of well aware that we'll probably be stopping into some places when we're hiking through New York. When we get back on the trail, I think it's, we already hiked maybe 14 or 15 miles in New York, and New York is 88 miles long. So we won't have that much to go. The point is, we're just going to carry 4 days of food on us just because it's just easier not to have to resupply every couple days. And then if we decide to impulse buy lunch one day at a deli, if we end up passing a deli, most of them looked to be a little bit off the trail to us, and we are still trying to make up miles. So just to give ourselves the option of going in or not, that's why we're carrying 4 days of food through the rest of New York. And so if that ends up being that we don't have to get another, resupply for, I don't know, 6 or 7 days, if we end up getting some lunch and then packing out dinner, whatever. But that was a lot of information spun off of peanut butter. But the point is, we never need a whole jar for either one of us. So we like to split it, and just so we can both have our own, we like these smaller jars. So this is not from Whole Foods. This is just the jar we had, and then we split our peanut butter. So this I'll do for lunch with, we usually do bagels for lunch just because they're so filling, but we couldn't find any. So what we got were some rolls, some really nice fresh rolls. And I only packed 3 of them because, again, I do kind of think that we're going to be, at least by, I guarantee in 4 days we're going to go to one of those delis. So this is kind of me just throwing it out to the universe and trusting that I'll be fine with 3 lunches. If not, I'll just eat some snacks for the last day or whatever. But peanut butter too, that's another thing I like to eat in the morning. Just put a scoop in with my oatmeal, or just literally get my spoon and scoop some into my mouth, whatever. It's just a nice good thing to have. But speaking of that, I do have some oatmeal packets. So these are actually organic, which is cool. They're maple spice. And I'll eat 2 of these for breakfast. We used to heat up water and do them hot just because we heat up water for coffee or tea anyway in the morning. But now all I do is rip the little top off of here, pour a little water in, stir it, and then I just eat it. And then sometimes, I think I just said this, but I'll just mix peanut butter right in there. So I have 2 for each day. But we got out of the habit of eating oatmeal for breakfast for a while. We were doing bagels for breakfast and lunch, but the oatmeal is just so much lighter, and especially with carrying 4 days of food, I was like, I'm just totally gonna do oatmeal, and it's just much easier. So then, so breakfast is oatmeal. Like I said, sometimes I'll do a scoop of peanut butter, pop in some grape tomatoes, but then I'll show you the snacks that I carry throughout the day. I really freaking like Luna bars. I have one more of these. It's the coconut kind, but it's actually downstairs in my pack. I'm sitting on Tova's rooftop right now. I just forgot to put it in here. So I like the Luna bars for a mid-morning snack. I was doing Cliff bars for a long time, but I just cannot eat another Cliff bar. I don't know. I really, I think that they're great. They're almost, for me, like a meal replacement because they are a lot of calories and fat and protein. And I know that people talk a lot about hiker hunger, but I find that I don't gorge myself on food. I eat breakfast, a mid-morning snack, lunch, a pretty big lunch. I'll do my peanut butter and whatever roll, but then I'll do tomatoes, and I'll also eat some other snacks with it. So I like to eat at lunch until I'm kind of full, because that kind of re-energizes me and then fuels me up for the afternoon. But the point of all that is I don't do the Cliff bars anymore. I switched to the Luna bars, because they're better, they have more variety. They do design them a little bit more for women. So just not as many calories. They're about, I think, 160 calories, which is right 190, 6 grams of fat, and then 8 grams of protein. So there's still a lot of protein in them, and I just like them more. And for me, I don't know if it's just as a woman or me specifically, that seems to be a nice mid-morning snack for me. Anything more than that, I don't know, I just don't need it. I get by on, a little small, just under 200 calorie snack. And then I always keep, so I do a mid-morning snack and an afternoon snack, but then what I keep in my pocket too is something else to munch on. Sometimes you just kind of get, I'll just say the munchies, you just want something to snack on because you're bored. What I like to do is I will put some Werther's Originals, like 2 in my pocket each day. So if I feel that bored kind of hunger coming on, I'll pop one of those in, because it's like I don't really need to eat, I just kind of want something. But I'll also always keep usually crackers, just something that isn't super sweet, because that's something else that I learned out on the trail is sometimes it has nothing to do with what I'm eating, and just if it's like sweet or salty or usually back or forth. I'm either in the mood for one of those, and like if that's what I'm craving, that's what I want. So I'll keep some crackers in my pocket, and then we always have either trail mix or almonds. Almonds are awesome. We also carry sometimes like sunflower seeds. Those are really good vegetarian protein, and a handful of almonds goes a long way. So this doesn't look like that much, but this is great for me for 4 days. That's like a handful for a day, and that's all I need. And usually I'll just snack on a few throughout the day as I kind of like crave them or think about them. And then I have my favorite snack ever. These are the Primal vegetarian soy jerky. If you are, I can't say that if you're not a vegetarian, you may not like these, because they aren't exactly like jerky, but we love them. And typically you can get them at like the food co-ops, which we've been super fortunate enough to get some food co-ops in the New England states. And as soon as we walked into Whole Foods, I was like, oh my gosh, John, let's look for jerky. So I have one for each day. And the jerky, when I can get it, is what I love for an afternoon snack. I don't know what it is about it. It's just like, I like the sweeter in the morning and then the more savory in the afternoon. And these flavors are Texas barbecue, which is really good. Sometimes I carry, instead of peanut butter on me, I carry a block of cheese. And just last week I had a roll I cut some cheese slices, and then I put jerky on it too, and I just ate it like kind of a meatless, sandwich, and it was awesome. I mean, it was nothing to write home about, I'm sure somebody isn't gonna put it on a menu or anything, but it was awesome for me in the woods. So Primal jerky, I love this stuff. And I'm pretty certain that if it comes to a point where I can't get it, like at least every other resupply, I might just start ordering it online. I'm not even kidding you. It's just so awesome. And it's a nice treat to have as a vegetarian. It's just for something else. So I'm going to show you real quick. John and I usually, I said this earlier, we share our dinners. So I got some ramen here. These are just the Asian vegetable. Usually in a lot of the resupplies, you can usually only get the regular cheapy ramen, but if we are fortunate enough to be in a store, we have no problem spending a little bit more money for a higher quality product. And I bought these ones because they had the most calories. I really, really, really like for dinner, I'm learning, John too, we're pretty similar in this. We do like a pasta. It's just good to have the carbs and like the protein and everything. So for a little while we were doing some of the rice sides and pasta sides, but I'm just not into those. They're super cheap, which is awesome, but they're just not that good. So these ones are, like I said, the Asian vegetable. And then couscous is actually something else that we really, 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 really like. We just started eating this on the trail, but it's awesome and it goes a long way. So you can just get little packets. Sometimes if you're in, the bulk food section, you can get couscous for super cheap. This one is, I think, it's garlic and olive oil. So super good, and that will feed both of us. Those 2 ramens I'll most likely eat just on my own, but I like the noodles. And that's pretty much it. I'll show you a couple of things here and then I'll wrap this up. The video's getting a little long, but I always try to carry some chocolate on me. This is dark chocolate sea salt almond, I'm pretty sure. And then, like I said, sometimes instead of peanut butter, I'll carry cheese with me. And something that you can pick up in most delis or convenience stores are these little packs of mayo. In my life pre-AT, I was not in the habit of eating very much mayonnaise, but it is nice on the days where you're a little bit extra hungry. You can just put this on, I do it just on my cheese sandwich, and it just extends the meal a little bit more, just adds more fat and a little bit more flavor. So I don't always put that on there, but it's just nice to have. I just have a couple extra packets in here. I have some mustard packets, and then I have my coffee and my tea. So it just depends on what I'm in the mood for. And then I have a little extra, I keep in here, I have some dried spinach. Sometimes we'll just add that into a ramen, or we'll do like we get dried veggies sometimes, peas and corn, and we'll just put those in whatever. We've done them in mac and cheeses before, and they're really awesome. So this is kind of like my little pantry bag. And then here is the actual last thing. Then we have some flavored juice mixes. So I have some lemon packets. This is vitamin C tangerine flavor fizzy drink mix. Definitely nice. We were carrying the lemonade half and halves, like the half lemonade, half iced tea packs on us too, because those are just nice to have with lunch sometimes, or in the afternoon, or when you get back to camp at night. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, and it obviously changes every single time. It depends on what, you know, we're able to get where we are, but we try to do as much, you know, usually I carry a couple pieces of fruit on me too. Plums are lightweight, so those are nice. Kiwis, we've been doing kiwis for the past few weeks, but again, I figured like we might be walking into a deli maybe 1 or 2 days here, so I'll just get, you know, some fruit in there, or I like the smoothie drinks too. Those are good. When we go into town, we try to eat vegetables as much as we kind of want to or feel like we should. And it just depends on what we're in the mood for, but it's nice to kind of keep it whole based and balanced as much as possible. When we started this journey, we definitely were more in like just the hiker zone of eating chips and cookies and just, you know, a lot of empty calories. But what we realized after a pretty short while was that it just wasn't really, I know for me anyway, I can't necessarily speak on John's behalf, but it wasn't really serving me. It wasn't like energizing me in the way that I wanted to be energized. So now that we've switched to more whole foods, it's really awesome, and I hope that we can maintain that the rest of the trip. So that's all I've got for right now. I'm gonna show y'all my view of the city here. My left foot is completely asleep. And then we'll get going. But I guess, you know, we're in Brooklyn, so you can see behind me. It's pretty cool up here. They are tearing up her roof over here. I don't know what they're gonna install, but then we were just looking earlier, there's some twinkle lights inside. She just moved here a week ago. So it's pretty cool that they have this outdoor space and these little chairs. So, yeah, that's it. So thank y'all for your love and support. I will be checking in with y'all again soon. Probably next video we'll be back on the trail, but I don't know. We'll see.